Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back. What's going on, subs? And how y'all doing, noobs? And just in case you don't know what a noob is, honey, I'm about to tell you. Noob is short for newbie. And a newbie is anybody checking me out, maybe for the first time, maybe for the second. It may even be for the third, fourth, or fifth. Honey, we don't count those numbers around here. We really don't. I just want all of my subs and I want all of my noobs to gather around and come on in, come on in, come on in. Okay, so for today we are doing the latest and greatest upgrades that I have been making in my life. For those who have tuned in a couple of times before, you guys know that I am making improvements from the rooter to the tutor, from the top of my head to the soles of my feet, as far as just making my life just a little bit better, okay? So it's still me, but just a little bit better. You see what I'm saying? So we like to call this initiative Dolce 2.0. And in this endeavor, I like to review and go over the certain categories. We have certain categories that we go into as far as where I have been making the upgrades. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right into it. So the first category that we're going to go into is water, or agua for those who speak Spanish. You guys know that I have been trying to improve my, well, not trying, I have been improving my gulpization or imbibing of H2O. And I have to tell you that we're still doing very well. Last time we did well, the report before that we were doing well. And right now, here and now, we are still doing well. I'm still getting in my H2O. And especially now that the especially now that the weather is getting warmer, you definitely want to stay hydrated. You know, Gatorade's okay and all these electrolytes and blah, 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 but you really want to get your water. We all know that water is very good for you. It's good for your organs. It's good for everything, including the health of your skin and hair. So I have been doing very well with that. Okay, so we're moving right along. Next up is sleep. You guys know that I have been struggling in my sleep, you know, as far as getting a full solid 8. I have been falling a little bit short over the last couple of rounds. I think I was at 6 before, which was, you know, which is okay. But my goal is a smooth 7 to 8, because sometimes I get a little restless, you get a little hot, cold, and I wake up feeling unrested because it hasn't been, you know, a restful sleep. So I will say that this go round, I have been doing pretty well. So this particular month, this past month, I've been doing pretty well. You know, like I said, I always have those one-offs or maybe a 2-off or whatever. But for the most part, I have been doing well. I have my sleep regimen where I take a shower before I go to bed. I try and eat early enough so that, you know, I'm not going to bed with a full stomach. You know, that also helps with your weight. So all these things, including the Goalie sleep supplements that I talked about in my last video. They've been working for me. And I just want to give a little update on that I don't take them every day, every night, I should say. I found out that I don't even need 2. Okay, because the instructions on the bottle is to take 2 about 30 minutes before you're ready to go to sleep. And I noticed that when I was taking 2, I would wake up a little groggier and sometimes I would wake up with a headache. So I cut that in half. I only take one gummy, and that's good enough for me. I feel well rested, and when I wake up, no headaches. And with that being said, I don't usually need to take it the next night. You know, it sort of stays in my system, or it has smoothed me out good enough or well enough that it sort of carries over to the next night and the next night, depending on what I'm doing. Obviously, if I'm all revved up, it's hard for me to wind down. But overall, the goalies have been working for me. So I wanted to give that little update. So sleep, even though it's been a struggle here and there, we have currently been getting our Z's. And I feel very good about that. Okay, so next up is exercise. Now, y'all already know, honey, that I have been falling off as far as, you know, some of the things that I started off with, which is mainly the walking. Well, guess what? Guess who went walking last week? I'm going to give y'all a quick guess. Booyah! Yes, it was me. Yes. So I got up that night before. I said, you know what? I got a little bit of time. I know I'm going to have a little bit of time on Friday. Let me get my gear out. Let me take my shower and get everything together so that I can go walking Friday morning. And that's exactly what I did. And when I tell you that it felt so good, it felt so good to just put on my watch, you know, do the whole little thing so I can get my steps in and count my steps and all like that, and just get out there and go. You know, had my little music on, my little theme music, had a little hippity hop, had a little gospel, you know, a little mixture of all the good things. So I had my little play set and I went walking. And when I tell you, at first my legs were burning, you know, because I'm like, ooh, you know, my muscles weren't used to it. You know, they were so out of, but honey, it only took maybe, I don't know how many steps, but soon after, right after I started walking, it didn't take too long for my muscle memory to kick in. You know, that burn started to subside and I really felt motivated. I really felt, you know, like I was in it, you know, I was back in it and it felt really good. And for those, again, who are not initiated, I used to go walking, I think about 3 times a week, you know, but my schedule has changed and I really haven't been getting into walking like I used to. I love walking because it starts my day off on the right type of vibe. And of course, it's good for you to keep moving and, you know, helps with the weight and all like that. So with that being said, I went back to walking and I had a little bit extra incentive to do that too, a little toy to play around with that I got, which I will introduce a little bit later on, okay? But yes, I am back to walking. I didn't walk this week because my schedule is, you know, for those who do know, I just took a trip and I just got back and I'm, you know, I'm trying to get acclimated again. So I did not walk this week, but I plan on resuming it next week. So I'm very, very, very happy about that. I gotta pop my collar on that. Pop! Okay, now next up is food. Now I have to say that I don't really have any updates as far as Trader Joe's. I've been sticking with my regular digglers, okay, with my usual suspects as far as what I have been buying from Trader Joe's. I didn't really venture off last month. But I will say that, again, being that I took a trip, I sometimes like to keep a little snacks with me just in case I get a little peckish, you know. I like to bring a little bit of mints and, you know, maybe little cough drops, you know. But this time around, I decided to bring a little something extra, a little something with some heft to it. So I'm sure some of you are already familiar. I like these Cliff Bars, okay? So I bought these and these are, they're protein bars. And this one is white chocolate flavored macadamia nut. And it's made with organic oats. It is certified organic with no GMOs. And it's low in sugar and it fills you up. Well, I won't say it fills you up, but of course oats, they do fill you up. So with that being said, these energy bars, I really do like. They're not too sweet. You guys know that I'm trying to get away from eating so much sweets. I still have a sweet tooth, so I may indulge now and again. In fact, I did last week, but we ain't gonna get into that. Anyway, but with this, I don't feel like I'm eating a candy bar. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And this one is my favorite flavor, if you will. The macadamia nut, really, really good. Okay, so this is what they look like, the little bars. So it's about the size of my hand. It's about 260 calories. There's no cholesterol. Again, not a lot of sugars. It has iron in it. You know, we're trying to keep up with our iron. Us women's, we trying to, you know, make sure we getting our vitamins. So it has a good amount of iron. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward and they taste good. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a good snack without a whole lot of bad stuff in it. You know what I mean? Because some of this stuff, it purports to be healthy, but when you read the sides of it, you're like, whoa, this is a lot of nonsense in here. But anyway, I like the Cliff Bars. So I threw a couple of these in my travel bag and I only ended up eating one because we were fed very well, I must say, you know, during my trip. But I was happy to have them with me. And yeah, so that's the only new food item that I have on the list is the Cliff Bars. And like I said, with sugar, I'm trying to cut back on my sugars. I'm not really into fried food. So I've been doing pretty well, you know, as far as my eating. I want to lose a couple more pounds. I got to work on that. But other than that, I've been doing pretty well. You know, I've been eating my salmon and this and that and making sure that I take my vitamins. So we're doing well in the whole dietary eating portion of Dolce 2.0. Okay, so next up is skin. okay? Skin, because I have, well, some of you guys know because I have mentioned it before, I had a little breakout on my cheeks. And even though it's kind of faded, it kind of bothers me, you know, because every time I look at it, I'm like, ooh, you still there? Yes, it's still there. And so in seeing these things, I decided, you know what? Let me look around and see how I can help myself out as far as my skin. Now, I like to keep everything, all my regimens, my hair regimen, my skin regimen, all like that. I like to keep it pretty basic. I don't have a whole bunch of stuff. But gone are the days where I could just slap some soap and water on my face and just, you know, go about my day. I can't do that no more. So I know that I need a little bit more of something. So I got my cleanser, love it. Got the moisturizer, absolutely love it. I showed you guys the essence, which I just got into, the kombucha treatment by Fresh. I like that. I added that to my regimen. It gives a very subtle, like, luminescence, okay, luminosity to your skin, and I really do like that. So in addition to that, I decided to try some vitamin C, which is very good for spot and scar reduction as far as the visibility of these things. And the one that I tried is by Timeless Skincare. And it comes in this orange bottle with a pump dispenser. I've been trying this for a little bit, you know, because I didn't want to just come in here and say, hey, I bought this and try, you know, I wanted to give it a little go. So I bought this a little while ago, and I have to say that I'm really, really loving it. Now, I know there's all types of vitamin C's out there as far as serums, and it's all the rage because it really does help your skin as far as it's an antioxidant. It helps to fight free radicals. Okay, so we don't want no free radicals around here, honey. They're gonna have to pay, okay? As well as it helps with blemishes and blotches and spots and yada yada yadas that may be on your skin. It helps to fade that. And Timeless came recommended. I was watching a video again a while ago, and they were talking about vitamin C's and this and that. And this came highly recommended because of not only its efficacy, but also its price. It's pretty well priced because, as some of you may know, a lot of these serums can be pretty pricey. And this was compared to one of the pricier vitamin C's at a lesser cost. So just as effective as the most, or one of the more expensive vitamin C's, very popular vitamin C's that people use. So I said, okay, well, for my first trial, I'd like to go that route. And so that's what I did, and I absolutely love it. And again, for those who are initiated, you guys know that my skin is very sensitive and it can react to a lot of different things, but it did not react to this. This is 10% vitamin C, ferulic acid, and vitamin E. This is a 1 fluid ounce bottle. And I actually took this on my trip. So you do all the things, you wash your face, and then you would put this on. You put on your moisturizer and then go about your day. Now you can use this both daytime and nighttime. And if you use it in the daytime, they do advise that you use an SPF or a sunscreen on top of that. But with that being said, Timeless is priceless as far as what it has done for my skin. I have noticed that it has faded a little bit, and it even helped with some of the fine lines. I have smile lines. So instead of me stop smiling for the rest of my life, because that's not going to happen, I decided, you know what, let me do this. Let me see how it works on my smile lines. And I have noticed that they have decreased just a little bit. Okay, I still have them, but they're not as prominent. So I can honestly say that I definitely see the effects from, or the results of using this. And they have other versions, Timeless does. They have other versions as far as the vitamin C, and they have some other things on their website that you may find interesting in case you're in the mood or you're in the market for a vitamin C serum. You know, do your research and make sure you get something that is compatible to your skin and your needs, because some things can be too strong. You know, there's some serums that have a higher component or higher ratio of, or higher amount of vitamin C as opposed to others. Now, again, this is 10%, and I said, okay, well, let me roll with this, and my skin has been faring well. And I've been using this for quite a few months. I would say maybe 3 months now. So I wanted to come in here informed enough to give you the information that I have personally, having used it. And yeah, it works. It works well. I like it. And this complements and goes well with everything that I have been using. So that too says a lot. So if you're interested, I'll have the link below. You want to check it out, you want to read it. Like I said, the price isn't bad. It's $22 as opposed to, you know, higher. And a lot of times it is marked down or it goes on sale. It goes on sale on Amazon as well as on their website. So you can really get it for a good price. So I wanted to share that with you guys and let you guys know that this is the latest and greatest as far as an addition to my minimalistic, very minimized skin care regimen. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I got my nails did. Well, I did them myself. You guys know that I had a breakout. I have eczema. I had a breakout on my hand on this one. So I wasn't really motivated to do my nails, you know what I mean? I just didn't do it. Haven't done them for a while. But this go around, I don't know whether it was the walking, whether it was the trip or what, I don't know what it was, but I felt inspired to do my nail. And so what I did was I went online and I went to tappy tap tap and I found these little stickers. These are nail stickers, nail art stickers that you can find online. I found them on Amazon. And they are just the cutest little things. They come in all types of variations as far as, you know, flowers, gemstones, and yada, yada, yada. I got the ones that were flowers and I put them just on my ring finger. And I absolutely positively love it. It's just a way to decorate your nails very quickly without a whole lot of heapida hoppida hoopida and go about your day. And the ones that I bought, it came with 5 sheets of flowers. So it's a flower motif with 5 different variations. So, oh, my bad, it's 4. I thought it was 5, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew, I can't count. Okay, so it kind of reminds me of when I was a kid and they had little stickers for your nails. You could just pop them right on there and, you know, giggle down the street and, you know, feel like you were doing something. So it sort of reminds me of that, but just a little bit more artistically refined. And on me, they stuck very well, you know, so you do a little base coat and then you put on, you know, the nails or whatever, or the stickers, and then you put a top coat on and you should be good to go. So I really like these, and I matched it up with my Zoya. Honey, I love this nail polish. My first time using it, I told you guys that I bought a couple of nail polishes, well, this was a while ago. I got there was a neutral color and then there was another color, and this is like a army, it's not an army green, it's like a muted army green. Guys, I am over the moon. I am in love with this nail polish, not only because of the color, but Zoya is my new joint. This is the sure shot. Zoya is that girl. Because I put this nail polish on. You know, sometimes you gotta use 3, 4 coats, you know, for things to look opaque. I put this stuff on the very first coat. We talking thick, opaque, or the formula isn't thick, but so I don't want to give you that impression. But we're talking full coverage, first go. That's what I'm trying to say. I am very impressed. I'm looking to buy a couple more colors. So with that being said, Zoya, I'm loving Zoya. I'm full of Joya over Zoya. Just allow me just let it pass. So anyway, I am loving this little combination, and yeah, very happy to finally be able to do something with my nails and look like something. So I'm very happy about that. And I guess that would come under the umbrella of wellness. You know, we like to talk about wellness, which is basically whatever gives you a little spark of joy in life. You know what I mean? Because it's nice to take care of the outside and the inside, but also it's good to take care of what's going on top. So wellness adds to your whole mentals and making sure those are taken care of. And again, like I said, what sparks joy in you? And right now, the nails are sparking joy, and those little stickers are sparking joy in me, as well as got a little techie update. You know what I was referring to early on as far as me walking and having a little incentive as far as walking? What you say? Huh? What? Say what now? Oh, these are my headphones. I take care of a little one now and again, and she's always watching these little TV shows, which are cute. They're cute. But sometimes I just want to zone out and listen to what I want to listen to, whether it be on my iPad or whatever. So with that being said, I bought these little headphones. These are by Sony, and these are they're not, I'm not an audiophile. I'm not into, the this, the that, and all the technical aspect. Honey, I just wanted something that I could just throw on my head, things sound good, and be done with it. Something very simple. So I looked around and I read the reviews, and this got really good reviews for the cost, for the price, because they were initially, I think, $90 or something like that, $60. But anyway, I got them for $36. Y'all know Amazon, honey, they don't play around. They said, "Ooh, you want this? Guess what? We got it for a cheaper price." And that's what I saw. It just happened right when I was looking for headphones. They just happened to go on sale. And these are the Sony's, what is this? These are the Sony's WH-CH520s. Okay, all right. Anyway, so these are very straightforward, very comfortable on my ears. One charge lasts up to 3-minute charge lasts up to 1.5 hours. And one charge can last you a couple days, meaning the headphones don't die right away after you done charge them. And again, everybody's different as far as the ear pads, but these fit on my ears very well. I have no issues with that. And they have little buttons at the bottom. Okay, so for the volume and to do this and turn it on and turn it off and yada, yada, yada. And they also have an app, which I did download, so you can sort of, calibrate it to your specifications, as well as turn it on. And these are Bluetooth, okay, so there's no cord. So you can basically match it up with your different devices. And I had no issues doing that at all. Nothing was a hiccup. Everything was pretty straightforward. And I'm very happy with these. Again, this is my entry level into headphones. I had the iPods, or the AirPods rather. Ooh, that sound old. iPods. I had the iPod. Scratch that. I had the AirPods, and I'm kind of sick of them because they die. One dies and the other one's still alive, and then you got to sort of, I was sick of that. So I put the AirPods away, and I decided to do the whole headphone thing, and I'm happy that I did. And maybe further on down the line, I'll get into the bigger techie, fancy schmancy ones, like the Air Maxes and, this and that and yada, yada, yada. But right now, I just wanted something quick. Just wanted something quick that really works. And this really works well, just in case you're interested. Again, I'll have the link below. They're very comfortable. I have the little pad besides on the ears. They have the pad above and the headband. And yeah, I like them. The only thing I would say is they don't come with a case, so that they don't come with a case. Like the Air Maxes and all the other fancy ones. You don't get a case for $36. But again, that's okay. It's serving its purpose, and I can always upgrade later. But this is what I am working with right now, and I'm very happy with these. And another thing to note really quickly, there's no, what is it called? There's no, what do they call it? When they blocks out all the surround sounds, everybody walking by, it doesn't do that. Okay, so if you're looking for something that blocks out everything around you, of course the term is escaping me right now, but it does not block out all the extra noise around you. It does not. Okay, so these are regular headphones that basically play the music, which is kind of good because, I do want to be able to hear, especially when I'm walking, because I had these when I was walking, and I was playing my music. I don't need anybody sneaking up behind me and tackling me in the street and dragging me behind some tree. Okay, so I'm okay with that for right now. Like I said, I'm okay with this for what I need right now. And I just wanted to show this to you guys because these right now are bringing me joy. Okay, so one other thing, I have been, like I said, I've been traveling and this and that. And this time around when I traveled, I brought my trusty tote, leather tote that I got from Massimo Dutti. For those who are not familiar, Massimo Dutti, they're connected with ZARA. So I know a lot of you guys know about ZARA. So if you go on their website, you can actually get to the Massimo Dutti website as well. And they sell, I guess, they're like an upper tier ZARA as far as what they offer in their clothes and price point and so forth and so on. So anyway, I was on the Massimo Dutti website. This was a while ago, I think about a year or whatever ago. And I saw these totes and I absolutely love the way they look. They've gone up in price since then. But anyway, I'm glad I grabbed them when I did. So I grabbed two. Y'all know me. One's not enough when I really like something. But anyway, I grabbed this one and a dark brown suede one. And I've been using this one off and on. But honey, when I went on my trip, I packed this thing to capacity. And I have to say that this tote, this tote is the business, okay? This tote, it handled business. It is the business. It is the bee's knees, and I absolutely love it. I mean, I banged this thing around. I had this on my suitcase. I'm up there going through the airport, trolleying through, this and that, da-da-da-da. It's falling off my arm, and honey, it's been knocked, it's been banged, it's been scratched, and when you look at this leather, it's like it adds to the character of the bag. You can barely see it as far as the scratches, but what you can see, like I said, it just adds to the character. And I was able to fill this thing to capacity. Do you hear me talking to you? I absolutely love it. The way that the handles are, okay, the way that they're stitched, I didn't have to worry about stitches popping off or whatever. Me just, trying to sling. Honey, I could sling this thing all over my head if I wanted to and not worry about, well, things would fall out of my bag, so I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I ain't crazy. But I'm just saying that this thing has held up and I'm so impressed by it. It has feet on the bottom. Okay. And y'all know me, and maybe you don't, that I am in my handbag era. So in doing so, I was in the market very early on I really don't need another tote, but I wanted one. And I saw this, and you guys know, those who do know that I'm in my handbag era, I like to have little embellishments now and again. So me being me, I think I got a couple of bag charms. I got this one from Target. Okay, this was a while ago. Okay, so don't come at me in the comments. This was a while ago. I got it from Target. Okay, just pump your brakes. And then I got this from Amazon. Okay, this little stud right here. Okay, with the little horsey, and then I'm getting another one of these. I absolutely love this one. So anyway, this is what I wanted to show you guys. My tote from Massimo Dutti. I mean, maybe I'll do a what's in my bag later. I was thinking about doing that. Not here. Not here. But don't get nervous. But, I was able to carry a whole bunch of stuff in here, as you can imagine. Okay, it has a little pocket in here. It does have a little fastener at the top. Okay, so I can just loop this around and make sure this just doesn't gape open every time, I move it. I can tuck it in on the sides and make it look compact like that. If it's filled to the brim and it's just got to come out, honey, you just got to, it's okay. And I absolutely love the color. I said, it did its thing for me not this weekend, when I was traveling. Absolutely love it. Chef's kiss, if chefs were talking about handbags. Okay, you get my drift. Ooh, I almost showed y'all my work ID. Can't do that, honey. Got to stay incognito. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, there you go. Okay, guys, so that is all that I have for you today, okay? Those were all the updates and the latest and greatest upgrades that I've been making as far as last month. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about what's going on. Summer is basically here. So I'm going to have a couple more things, including, some footwear and some other good things that I want to show you guys. So y'all got to come on back for that. But anyway, that is it for right now. So with that being said, the time has come and we're going to get up out of here. What do you say? I think we should, honey. So that's what we're about to do. So with that being said, that wasn't too bad, right? We were in and out, okay? I want to thank you so much for dialing in and showing up. I really do appreciate it. I really do. I really do. And yeah, we'll be back talking about some more stuff. Honey, I need y'all to come on back in here because we got some more stuff to talk about. We really do. So you got to come back for that. So you already know it's going to be the same Dolce dial. It's going to be the same Dolce channel. Woo! So you come on back. All right.